Hello everyone, this is Money Mom. Welcome to the channel. Today I want to chat with you guys about 6 things I did to stop living paycheck to paycheck. Let's get started and talk about it. My husband and I got married in 1994, and when we got married, we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. We had a vehicle, no car payment. The only debt that we had was a small college loan for me, and I did pay that off within 1 year of getting married. We did not make a lot of money. Each of us had a job, but we didn't make a whole lot. But we didn't have a lot of expenses. With that, we also didn't have much savings, if any savings at all. And so all the money we made went to paying our bills. We always paid our bills, and any leftover got spent. I never even thought about saving. So, you know what? If an emergency would have happened, I certainly would not have been very prepared. Let me just say that. So what did we do? The first thing we did is we started making more money. So we did side jobs. My husband did deliver papers for a little while. I also did some babysitting on the side, and I started mystery shopping. And so that brought some extra money in. And when we had that extra money, we always had a plan for what we wanted to do with that money. We might have saved it for a bigger item and things like that. So I started doing that. We were living so much paycheck to paycheck that when we got paid, we would buy groceries and we'd have a grocery budget. I think back then our grocery budget was $50 a week for the two of us. And we bought mostly processed type stuff that was quick. And by the next time we would go grocery shopping, we'd be almost out of food. So I didn't do any kind of stockpiling. So thank God we didn't have any weather disaster where we couldn't get out, because we didn't have a lot of food in the house, because we just bought minimal stuff. Like I remember buying banquet chicken and thought I was cooking because I would put banquet chicken on a pan. Okay. Then the other thing is, number 2, I stopped doing any kind of 6 months no interest. I did that for a long time, but then I realized the payments, and I didn't like having payments, and then it would change what my monthly expenses were. So I haven't been doing that. Not that I have anything against 1 year or 6 months no interest. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but I really don't do it that often. And if I do, I try to pay it off within like 90 days. But I really am trying to just use my savings rather than depend on like a 6 months or 12 months no interest. And a lot of times, the last time I did it, I had a deal where I could either do 1 month no interest, or I could get less price on the item. I took less price. I was going to actually save money by not taking advantage of the 1 year no interest. So that's what I did. And I've noticed that some places have done that, where they give you a better price if you pay it right away. Okay, number 3, this was huge. I started making saving a priority. We lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. Then we moved to a 2-bedroom. I'm going to tell you what we paid back then. Okay, when I moved to Dallas in 1988, I paid $300 a month for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 582 square foot apartment. And then we moved to a 2-bedroom and 2-bath apartment, and it was $495, and that was in 1996. And then 97, we moved to a house that we rented for 1 year before we bought it, and paid $500 a month. That tells you how low we paid. But we wanted to buy that house. We had an opportunity to purchase it. We needed a down payment. I didn't have much money for savings. So we lived off one of our income, and then I paid off my college loan completely, and we saved the rest of it so we would have a good down payment for our house, which is now paid off. So I made saving a priority. Okay, next, number 4, I started cooking more from scratch so we would have more ingredients and more food in our house. That did save us money, because when you buy all these prepackaged type things, you go through it quick. Yes, it's convenient, but then if something comes up, you don't have any food left. You go through food a lot faster, basically. Okay, number 5, we didn't go out to eat for pizza every Friday night. We used to go out to eat to buffet pizza every single Friday night. Let's just be straightforward. Does Money Mom need to be going to any buffet restaurants? The answer is no. So back then I did way less than I do now, but still that was not good for me. Okay, last but not least, I used to spend very little money on things. I would buy cheap mattresses, cheap shoes. We bought a cheap, uncomfortable futon because I thought, hey, I want to save money, so I'm going to buy cheap stuff, cheap cars, everything cheap, 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 because I didn't make a lot of money. When you start increasing your income and you start cutting expenses and start spending less money on the little things that add up, I always call it death by 1,000 cuts, you start having more money to be able to save. And really the biggest way to do that is to, obviously, the marriage of both of these. Cut your expenses, You know, your not, even your fixed and also your not fixed expenses, your variable expenses, and also increase income. If you do both of those, that's the secret sauce. So these are ways I stopped living paycheck to paycheck. I'd love to hear from you. If you used to live paycheck to paycheck, what are some tips you've used so that you have more money in your pocket in your spending plan? That's all I have to say for now. I love you, I appreciate you, and I sure hope to see you on tomorrow morning's video. Bye-bye.